Hi, thanks for watching Yogi Moksha with Vanessa and Andrew. If you enjoy our sequences, please consider subscribing and providing feedback. We enjoy hearing from those that share our passion for yoga. In our functional energetic sequence, we started to explore energetic movement through the body's subtle energy channels. We started to understand that this movement and harmonisation of energy is important for overall health. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is qi that moves through 12 main meridians. In Indian philosophy, it is prana, moving through nadis. In more recent research, the focus has been on myofascial meridians that loosely follow many of the Chinese medicine meridians. Myofascial meridians are bands that allow chemical and electrical energy to move through the body. These bands are part of the single connective tissue network that is present in every part of our body. It is these myofascial meridians that we work with in our practice and that we will work with in this sequence. Often, these meridians are worked in their yin-yang pairs, and this is how we will work with the meridians in this sequence. The sequence we will practice seeks to restore some balance, helping to ensure a healthy flow of qi throughout the body. By increasing our store of qi, increasing our perception of energy in the body, and hence our ability to follow and ultimately move that energy, and ensuring the energy channels, meridians, are free of blockages. So enjoy the practice. Namaste. In traditional Chinese medicine, the lung and large intestine meridians relate to the respiration and water flow within the body. Lung qi is said to be responsible for the health immune system. The lung meridian's primary pathway emerges on the chest, under the clavicle, and then runs along the inside of the arm to the elbow crease, down the forearm to the thumb. The large intestine meridian starts at the tip of the index finger and thumb, continuing up the outside of the forearm, up the upper arm, and crosses behind the shoulder to the depression between the scapular spine and the clavicle before ascending up the side of the neck, through the cheek, curving around the upper lip to the opposite side of the nose. Disharmony in the lung and large intestine meridians can manifest as fatigue, mouth, throat, neck and shoulder problems, shortness of breath, and feelings of sadness, a sense of loss or despair. So coming to a comfortable seated position, maybe sitting up on a block like I am, or just on the mat, legs crossed. I'm just going to do some natural breathing for a couple of minutes, just to bring the focus of our attention to the practice, to the next 90 minutes. So sitting upright, back nice and straight, maybe bringing the eyes to a close if you're comfortable to do that, or if not, just taking the gaze down towards the mat or the floor. And just following the breath. No particular pattern of breath, just your natural breathing rhythm. Observing. Observing the breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Feeling the movement of the air coming in over the nostrils and back out through the nostrils as we exhale. Starting to turn our senses inwards, ready for a practice that really does require a good degree of perception and inward focus. to block out external noises or sensations. Just not dwelling on them, not focusing on them. Making our main primary focus what's happening within, just for 90 minutes. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Just a couple more rounds of breath now in your own time. Coming out of your seated position and coming into Cesar, just sitting back on the ankles. I'll demonstrate fronting the camera so we can work on the arm positions, and Vanessa's demonstrating from the side there. So we're going to just do a light sort of introductory posture, which is just going to put some healthy stress into the lung and large intestine meridians. So to start with, we're going to take our palms to the mat, fingers pointing backwards. Positioning the hands so you're getting a little bit of stress up the inside of the arm here. So the inside of the arm, this is the lung meridian, coming up from the tip of the thumb, inside of the arm, right up to just below the clavicle. Just a couple of breaths here. So adjusting as you need to. If you need to bring the hands forward a bit more, you're going to get a little bit more sensation. If that's too much, just coming back a little bit. And then we're just going to change the position of the hands so that we're going to target the outside of the arm. So taking the hands up, turning them over. So again, fingers pointing back and placing the top of the hand on the mat. And again, just placing the hands in a position that's not going to create too much discomfort for you. A little bit's fine, but we certainly don't want any pain. Just settling into the posture there. Starting off with a little bit of weight, maybe increasing as the muscles open up, posture opens up. So the outside of the arm, this is the large intestine meridian, which runs from the outside, forefinger all up the outside of the arm, coming in, shoulder, neck, and across the side of the face. And just regular breath. Just starting to tune into the sensation. So these are the two meridians we're going to work with for the next 90 minutes. So it's a good opportunity to just explore them a little bit. The lung, which we've just done, up the inside of the arm, the large intestine here, coming up the outside of the arm, up the neck, side of the face, across to the other nostril. Next inhale, just gently releasing. Just being, might be a little bit fragile in the wrists there after that. Just being gentle, coming ready round for our next posture. So in our next posture, our target area, physical target area, is going to be the upper body. And the meridian we'll be targeting will be the lung meridian, so coming up the inside of the arm. So come onto all fours and keeping the hips roughly over the knees. Just going to walk those hands forward. Now again here, if this is going to be too much for you for 4 minutes in this posture, then there are various ways you can take some of the load. You can perhaps take a bolster. As Vanessa could demonstrate that. You can use a bolster to take some of the weight out. It also provides, you can actually place the head on it as well if you want. So not being afraid to use the props to help you stay in the posture. We're not after depth in yin, we're after the length of time in the posture. So just settling in here, finding that first edge in the upper body. Scapula, clavicle. Relaxing the muscles. And as we relax the muscles, just finding some stillness. Maybe the posture opens up a little bit. Maybe we're going to move into it a little more deeply during the course of this posture. That's fine. The stillness in yin is not a rigid, fixed stillness. It's a flexible stillness that allows us to move as the posture opens up, or indeed just to back off a little bit if we need to. A good sign that we might need to back off is a shortness of breath. So in that stillness now, we take our attention beyond the physical sensations to the more energetic. So taking our attention to the lung meridian, so to the thumb of each finger, each hand. As we inhale, just drawing a line up from the thumb coming up the inside of the arm. Here, top of the arm, just to the clavicle. As we exhale, moving that sensation back down the inside of the arm, down towards the thumb. One more time. Inhaling, thumb, inside of the arms, up towards the shoulder, into the clavicle. And exhaling, coming back down through the shoulder, inside of the arms, down to the thumb. Right, just continue this in your own time. I find it useful to coordinate with the breath. But equally explore a little and just try it without coordinating with the breath. Whatever works best for you, stick with that. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe one more time, inhaling from the thumb, inside of the arm up to the shoulder, clavicle, exhaling, coming all the way back down the inside of the arm to the thumb. Next inhale, just coming back to all fours, turning round to lie on our back for our first rebound. So typically I would say do the rebound, enjoy the rebound lying on the back, maybe supported, but particularly since we're working with the upper body, we want to make sure that the upper body is relaxed, so I would strongly suggest that you do the rebounds lying flat on your back. Some people try it lying on the front, but again, explore and try it. So in the rebounds throughout the sequence, we just want to take time to turn our senses inwards and explore the sensations that the previous posture has generated for us. So closing our eyes, taking our attention to the upper body, scapula, clavicle, shoulders. Just seeing what sensations exist. Maybe starting from the shoulders, maybe just moving through the shoulders and arms. Perhaps those sensations feel a little bit energetic, maybe there's a light vibration. Maybe they're moving along the pathways that we just worked with, those meridian bands. But you decide how it feels for you. And in our next inhale, we're going to come back up to a seated position. So a couple of options here. We could try this sitting in Caesar, back on our ankles again. We could try it just with our legs crossed in front of us. But we're going to be targeting the large intestine meridian, so we're going to be going the outside of the arm. And we're going to do that with a physical target area, the scapula, the clavicle. So a lot of these postures in this sequence are upper body, so it's going to involve the shoulders. And we're going to do that with our eagle arms. We've got our right arm on top of the left arm. And as far as we can, we want to try and our palms or the fronts of the hands touching each other. But if we can't do that, we can just wrap our arms around like this. Again, just finding first edge here, relaxing the muscles in the upper body and shoulders, the upper back. As we do that, maybe the posture opens up a little bit. It allows us to adjust. Again, finding that soft stillness, the calmness of the mind and the body. Allows us to take our attention to the meridian we're working with, the large intestine, so the forefinger of the right arm. And from here, as we inhale, drawing up from the tip of the finger, coming back over the back of the hand, outside of the arm, up the outside of the arm, across to the shoulder, up the side of the neck, side of the face, cross, ending up on the opposite nostril. Exhale, back down across the face, down the right side of the neck, shoulder, outside of the right arm, back down to the tip of the forefinger. One more time, inhaling, Right forefinger outside of the right arm, up to the shoulder, clavicle, neck, right side of the face, across to the left nostril, and exhale, coming back down, neck, clavicle, shoulder, outside of the right arm. Just continuing with your own rhythm of breath. And your next exhale, gently releasing the arms. Getting ready just to switch to the other side, so exactly the same on the other side now. So this time we're going to have the left arm on top of the right. Again, if there's any issue with getting the arms in this position, we could just hold the opposite shoulders, making sure that we've got that left arm on top. But otherwise, just moving into our eagle arms position. Finding that first edge. That physical first edge, that point of first resistance. Consciously releasing, relaxing the muscles in the target area. So the upper body, the scapula, the shoulders, just releasing those muscles. As we do so, maybe we feel that posture open up. Maybe that edge moves out. Gives us the chance to adjust a little bit. But again, only if we want to. And we find our stillness. Stillness in the body, in the mind. Stillness that allows us to take our attention to the large intestine meridian on the other side, so on the left hand side, starting with the tip of the left forefinger as we inhale, drawing that attention, that energy up the outside of the left arm, up to the shoulder, into the clavicle, left side of the neck, left side of the face, and coming across and ending at the right nostril. Exhale, moving back down, nostril, side of the face, neck, clavicle, shoulder, outside of the arm. Just continuing in your own time, with your own rhythm of breath. Inhale, drawing the energy up. Exhale, drawing the energy down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Some of the ways that we might be aware that there is a lung, large intestine meridian issue is that we have an overwhelming sense of sadness or a sense of loss or grief. Lingering, overwhelming sensation. And in part, this is one of the issues that we're going to address in this sequence by trying to get a better balance in the body through the lung and large intestine meridians. Inhaling energy up and exhaling back down the outside of the arm to the fingertip. And just gently releasing. So that one can be quite an intense sensation in the upper body, so we're going to move into another rebound. And again, since we're working with the upper body, I'd suggest lying down as Vanessa is for the rebound. Closing the eyes if we're comfortable, or just looking up at the ceiling if we're not, finding a point on the ceiling and just defocusing. Turning our attention, sensations inward now. Bringing our attention to the target area. So again, the upper body, scapula, shoulder area. Starting there and just seeing what sensations are moving through that part of the body, the upper body, the shoulders, the arms. Try and tune into the more subtle sensations than the physical sensations we might feel, the more subtle, energetic or vibration feelings. And just following them, just observing, deciding if they're following the path of the meridian band that we've just been working with, for example. Maybe we can feel something moving up and down the outside of the arms. So what we were doing in that previous posture was opening up that meridian and trying to move energy through. And perhaps that's now what we can feel in the rebound. Now it's an inhale, coming back up to a seated position. So again, we've got the option here of crossed legs or sitting in Caesar, so I'll do it facing the camera and perhaps Vanessa can do it to the side to show. So our physical target area is going to be the obliques. The meridian that we're going to be seeking to work with is the lung meridian, so coming up the inside of the arm. And the way that we're going to target that is taking our left hand gently over to the right knee, taking our right hand behind us, placing that on the mat behind us, roughly in line with the middle of the back. I'd suggest that we have the inside of the arm facing away from us. As you can see, this is demonstrating that over there more clearly. We're not pulling ourselves round, so unlike a lot of yang forms of yoga, we're not going to try and pull ourselves into this twist. We want to take our attention to this back arm, this right arm. So we're just going to start with the physical expression. So just finding that edge in the obliques, maybe down the inside of the arm, just relaxing the muscles. Relax, maybe that posture just opens up a little bit. Maybe there's an opportunity, an invitation there as the edge moves to get a little bit more twist. Maybe we can even twist our arm out a little bit more. Our back arm, that's our right arm behind us. And now just finding stillness, mental, physical stillness. Now just to take our attention to the meridian, the lung meridian in the right arm. Starting at the thumb of the right hand as we inhale, drawing the energy up the inside of the arm, coming up towards the shoulder, coming in to the clavicle. And as we exhale, moving the energy back down from the clavicle, shoulder, inside of the arm to the thumb. Inhaling, drawing up from the thumb, inside of the arm, shoulder, clavicle. Exhale, moving the energy back down, shoulder, inside of the arm to the right thumb. Just continuing like that with your own rhythm of breath, maybe lifting as you inhale and allowing the energy to fall back as you exhale. So some of the physical signs or manifestations of an imbalance in our lung and large intestine meridians would include fatigue and issues with the neck and the shoulder. We can perhaps begin to get a sense of the neck and shoulder impacts here. With our focus on this meridian, we can feel that energy moving through that part of the body. Last time, inhaling from the right thumb up, inside of the arm, shoulder, clavicle. Exhaling, moving the energy back down the inside of the arm to the right thumb. And as you exhale next, just gently releasing that back arm. Now exactly the same to the other side, so focus is going to be the left arm, so the left lung meridian. We're going to take our right hand, gently placing it on the left knee, taking the left arm behind us, send the inside of that arm if we can, pointing out this way to the side. Probably means the finger's going to be pointing over that way. Placing that arm behind us. Same physical target area, so there's going to be the obliques. And we're still working with the lung meridian, but this time in the left arm. Just finding that physical edge first. Nice twist in the body. Edge, first point of resistance, relaxing the muscles through the torso. Find as we do this that the posture opens up a little bit. If that's the case, then we can adjust, but if not, we just stay as we are. And find stillness. Stillness in the body and the mind. Nice soft stillness. Nothing rigid or forced about the in practice. And in that stillness, gives us the opportunity to take our attention down to the left thumb, where the lung meridian starts. As we inhale, drawing that edge up from the thumb, the inside of the arm, shoulder, coming into the clavicle. And as we exhale, allowing that energy to move back down the inside of the arm to the thumb. Inhale, thumb, inside of the arm, shoulder, clavicle. And exhale. Shoulder, inside of the arm, down to the thumb. Just repeating that. Maybe using your inhale and exhale for the rise and the fall. But however you do it, just making sure that your full attention is on meridian band, the movement of sensation, or just drawing a line. With this practice and concentration, what we'll find over time is that the drawing in our mind becomes a mild sensation as we practice throughout the meridian band. And the strength of that sensation increases over time, and ultimately we're much more able to direct the flow of Qi throughout the various meridians. Practicing this way is not only going to increase the amount of Qi that we have stored in our body, also our perception of it and our ability to move it around, but it's also going to make sure that the meridians are flushed out and free of blockages. So maybe now for the last time, from the left thumb as we inhale, coming up, drawing the energy up the inside of the arm, shoulder, clavicle, and as we exhale, taking that energy all the way back down the inside of the arm to the left thumb. Just gently releasing again. Coming back, lying on our back for another rebound. And preferably lying flat on our back, as Vanessa's demonstrating. Bringing the eyes to a close, taking our attention back to the scapular, clavicle, upper body area. Just opening the mind and trying to discern what sensations there are in that part of the body, what's moving through that part of the body, what sensations arise there. If there is an energetic sensation, is it static or is it moving? If it's moving, is it perhaps using that meridian band that we've been working with, that energy channel at the outside of the arms? Maybe going up the inside of the arms, up and down the inside of the arms. But this will be different between practices and different for different people. Maybe we do feel it in the lung meridian. Maybe we feel it in the lung meridian, but also in the outside of the arms. You have to use your perception to decide. Going back to a seated position. So in our next posture, we're going to be moving to the outside of the arm again for the liver meridian. Physical target area is going to be the scapula again. And we're going to do that with a seated twist. So again, I'll do it front onto the camera and Vanessa will demonstrate from the side. So bringing both legs out in front, keeping the left leg straight, bringing the right leg over just to the other side of the left knee. We're going to take the right arm behind us and the left arm is going to come over the right knee. Now we don't want the inside of the arm facing up. We're going to want the outside of the arm facing up. Or if you like, the palm of the hand facing down towards the mat rather than up to the sky. Again, remembering it's yin, not yang, so we're not wanting to force a twist. Just finding that edge. That first physical edge, first point of resistance. That's probably going to be more up here in the shoulder. Maybe a little bit in the obliques as it's a twist. Relaxing the muscles. As we relax the muscles, maybe there's a little bit of extra. Just opening up in the body. Wherever we are now, we find stillness. Stillness in the body and the mind. And again, we use that stillness to take us beyond the physical sensations towards the energetic. And moving down to the tip of the left forefinger. As we inhale, we're going to draw that energy up the outside of the arm, coming up, shoulder, side of the neck, side of the face, coming across to the right nostril. And as we exhale, all the way back down, side of the face, neck, the outside of the arm, to the tip of the left forefinger. So one more time, inhale, outside of the arm, shoulder, clavicle, neck, side of the face, coming across to the right nostril. Exhale, coming back down the left side of the face, left side of the neck, shoulder, down the outside of the left arm, to the tip of the left finger. So just continuing to trace that, or to draw that energy along that pathway, that band, in your own time. Maybe using the inhale and exhale as I do to move the energy up and back down. Again, starting to get some experience, perhaps some sensation that disharmony in these meridians can manifest in the neck, shoulder, mouth and throat. Certainly as we work with these meridians, we're channeling, moving energy through those areas. And that's going to be helpful in reducing or removing blockages and ensuring that we've got an adequate flow of chi through and to these areas. So maybe one more time from the tip of the left finger as we exhale, coming up, the outside of the arm, shoulder, neck, left side of the face, over to the right nostril, and exhaling back down, left side of the face, neck, outside of the left arm, to the tip of the left finger. Gently releasing out, bringing the left arm back over, releasing that right leg. And simply moving to the other side, so bringing the left foot over to the outside of the right leg. We're going to be bringing the right arm over the left leg, just above the knee if we can. So again, the palm facing down towards the mat rather than that way, down towards the outside of the mat. You'll already be able to feel some sensation down the outside of the arm. So physical target area again is going to be the scapula, maybe a little bit in the obliques as it's a twist. So we're going to start with just finding that physical edge for the scapula and the obliques. Settling in, finding that point of first resistance. We're getting there, pausing, maybe using the breath to help us relax the muscles in the shoulder and in the torso. As we do that, perhaps the posture opens up a little bit, gives us the opportunity to adjust, maybe go a little bit deeper if we want to. And then we're just finding stillness. Stillness in the body, stillness in the mind. Taking the calm that creates allows us to take our full and clear attention down to the large intestine meridian, starting on the right forefinger. Our next inhale, we're going to draw that energy up the forefinger, up the outside of the arm, going up the shoulder, in up the right hand side of the neck, right hand side of the face, ending on the left nostril, exhaling, coming all the way back down, right side of the face, right neck, right shoulder, outside of the right arm, down to the tip of the forefinger. One more time, inhale, drawing up forefinger outside of the arm, right side of the neck, right side of the face, left nostril, exhale back down, right side of the face, neck, right shoulder, outside of the arm, down to the tip of the right finger. Again, just continuing with that movement, or just drawing the line in your mind, in your own time, maybe coordinated with the breath, maybe not, whatever works best for you. Just enjoying the sensation of movement. Even over the course of this sequence, you're going to find that your ability to perceive and discern the energetic movement improves. And any kind of energetic movement through the meridians, as we'll find in this whole series of practices, is going to help with one of the more persistent manifestations of chi shortage or meridian disharmony, and that's fatigue. As we learn to increase the body's store of energy, and we learn to move it around, that's going to help with our overall fatigue levels. So inhaling up, outside of the arm, right side of the face, left nostril, and exhale, moving back down, right neck, right side, outside of the arm, tip of the right finger. Just gently releasing again. And that left leg back over. And back to a lying posture on the mat. Bring the eyes to a close. Taking the attention straight away to the target area, so predominantly the scapula, shoulder, upper body. Opening the mind to the movement of sensations through that area. Just observing, not directing. Just observing what, if anything's moving along that large intestine meridian. We've been working the outside of the arms down to the forefingers. Maybe there is some movement there. Maybe there's some movement there and then off to other parts of the body. Just trying to describe it to yourself in your own mind, how it feels and where it's moving. Maybe just contemplating, if you can, how this feels different to when we last worked with this particular meridian band on the outside of the arm. The next inhale again, coming up to seated position. So we're going to go back to the inside. So moving inside and outside, and hopefully you're getting to be able to discern between them. They are quite close, so it's sometimes quite difficult. But we're going to be targeting the lung meridian again. So thumb inside of the arm. We're going to do it with both arms. And our physical target area is going to be the upper body, the scapula again. We're going to take our hands behind us on the mat. So keeping the legs extended in front. And just walking the hands back to point of first resistance, so that physical edge. This is going to be very different for different people. It may be that you walk back as far as Vanessa is demonstrating here. It might also be possible to use a bolster behind the body just to take some of the weight of the back out of the arms. Or you can walk the arms down a little bit further. But wherever you find that first edge, just pausing, relaxing the muscles around the upper body, around the shoulders, the upper back. Maybe finding that the posture opens up a little bit. If that's the case, you can walk the arms a little bit further if you want, or you can walk the arms further apart and move the hands further apart. Sometimes that's more comfortable. And wherever we are now, we're finding stillness, mental, physical stillness, soft, not rigid stillness. Allows us to take our attention down to both thumbs. And this time as we inhale, we draw the energy up from both thumbs, inside of the arms, coming up to the shoulders, just coming into the underneath the clavicle. And as we exhale, taking that energy back down, clavicle, shoulder, inside of the arms, down to the thumb. One more time guided from the thumb, inhale, drawing the energy up, the inside of the arms, shoulder to the clavicle, and exhale back down, both the inside of the arms to both thumbs. Continuing with your own movement, your own pace, with or without the coordination with the breath. But importantly, making sure that you're mindful, that you're clearly, closely following the movement of the energy all the way through those meridian bands, where it is, what it feels like. As it moves, the sensation it leaves behind. moving that energy up through those neck and shoulder areas in particular, where some of the manifestations of disharmony can appear. So maybe the last time from both thumbs as we inhale, drawing the energy up inside of the arms, shoulder, the clavicle. Exhale down to both shoulders, inside of both arms, back down to both thumbs. And just gently bring the arms back. Getting ready for our next posture. We're going to again target the scapula, but we're going to do that by turning over and lying on our front, maybe supporting yourself on your elbows for the moment. We're going to take the right arm out to the side, palm facing down towards the mat. You might find it useful actually to just have a block to hand. And then we're going to roll back. So we're going to roll back onto this arm, just being a little bit cautious about how much stress you put in that shoulder. Now, this is where I find the block useful to support my head. Now for the legs here, the target area is the scapula, the physical target area, and the meridian target area is the lung. So again, we're starting with the thumb and coming up the inside of the arm on the right arm. So just finding that physical edge, the first point of resistance. You can take the leg, you can use the left arm to go behind us and get a bit more weight behind us. We can use the left leg, we can bend the left leg at the knee, and that will just help us transfer a little bit more weight back, get a little bit more openness to the right shoulder. Just finding that first edge, relaxing the muscles. Maybe they open up a little bit. If they do, we can get a little bit more depth with one of these variations. Then we find stillness. Finding that physical and mental stillness, which we really need when we're working with the energetic dimensions of the practice. Taking our attention to the right thumb, and then as we inhale, drawing that energy up the right thumb inside of the right arm behind us, shoulder coming into the scapula, and then as we exhale, taking that energy back down the inside of the arm to the right thumb. One more time guided, right thumb inhale, inside of the right arm, shoulder, clavicle, exhale back down the inside of the arm to the right thumb. Continue with that movement yourself at your own pace. And consciously drawing that energy up and through the neck and shoulder areas, flushing out those meridians, helping to improve the flow of qi and counter those sensations of fatigue that manifest with so many meridian challenges or blockages. Inhaling and exhaling, drawing up and pulling back down. Last time, right thumb. Inhale, draw the energy up the inside of the right arm, shoulder, clavicle. Exhale back down the shoulder, inside of the arm to the right thumb. Just gently come out, rolling the body back towards the mat. Swapping to the other side. So extending the left arm here. And as we did on the other side, just rolling, using the block if we need to. Support the head. Finding that first edge. That can be behind if we need. Again, that's just going to bring some more weight and perhaps open up the posture a little bit. Just finding that edge, first point of physical resistance. Physical target area again is the scapula. The meridian we're targeting is the lung meridian of the left arm or the arm behind us. As we relax the muscles around the scapula, we might find that the posture opens up a little bit. If it does, we may want a little bit more depth, in which case we can bring that right knee up and just allow that, the weight of that leg to gently bring this right shoulder a little bit more towards the mat. Just finding a position that's comfortable for us, finding stillness, calm, relaxed stillness, not a rigid, forced, I will never move stillness, one that allows us to move with our edge. Taking that calm stillness down to the left thumb, working with the lung meridian now as we inhale, drawing the energy up the inside of the left arm, coming up to the shoulder, just underneath the clavicle. Exhale, moving that energy back down, clavicle, shoulder, inside of the arm, left thumb. Inhale, left thumb, inside of the arm, shoulder, clavicle. Exhale, back down, inside of the arm, to the left thumb. Just continuing with that movement, your own time, your own rhythm, coordinating with the breath or moving it in whatever rhythm you find appropriate. As we're focusing more now on just the sensations of the energy moving up and down through this meridian. Passing through areas like the shoulder, close to the neck, generating chi, improving our perception of it, and allowing us to move that energy through the meridian bands that we're effectively flushing out as we practice, countering that any feeling of fatigue that we might have had, re-energizing. And just next exhale, just gently releasing. Now we've got a rebound now. We can take the rebound lying on our front if we want. But again, important that we have the upper body relaxed. So if you want to lie face down, or you can roll over onto the back. Entirely up to you. But wherever we find that we're taking our rebound, again, bringing the eyes to a close if we're comfortable. Making sure that the target area is relaxed, so the upper body and the scapula. Taking our attention there, opening our mind, and listening closely and intently to any sensations that are arising or maybe just passing through that area. Energetic sensations, might be sort of high frequency vibrations, waves of warm or coolness. Just exploring whether they're actually moving along that meridian band we were working, so at the inside of the arm. Is that part of the journey? Or maybe you feel it elsewhere in the arm. So if you're lying on your front, just staying there. In our next posture, we're going to again target the physical area, the scapula. This time we're going to target the meridian on the outside of the arm, so the large intestine. And we can do that in one of two ways. Vanessa will demonstrate the way of doing it with each arm separately, and I'll demonstrate the way of doing it with both arms together. So maybe try both, see which works for you, or if you already have a preferred, just work with that. So allow Vanessa to demonstrate first. We're going to do it with the individual arms. Then we would take the left arm through. And roll onto the front of our body. If we're going to do both arms together, then we would cross the arms in front of us, with the left arm closest towards the body. And just walk the hands apart a little bit until we start to feel that edge. So in both cases, we're starting to feel that, finding that edge, that physical edge, relaxing the muscles. As we're relaxing the muscles, we may find that the posture opens up a little bit. Now in the case of Vanessa's posture, that might mean that she can sort of roll over a little bit more. She might choose to stay as she is, For me, if I wanted a little bit more depth, I can push forward with my feet. And then we find stillness, whatever expression we're in. Stillness in the body, mind. Taking that stillness to the left forefinger if you're doing them one arm at a time. So the arm that is underneath you, taking the attention to that forefinger. If you're doing both arms at the same time, you can take the attention to both forefingers. As we inhale, just drawing the energy up the outside of the arm, into the shoulder, scapula, neck, side of the face, crossing over to the opposite nostril. And as we exhale, leaving the nostril, crossing to the opposite side of the face, down that side of the neck, outside of the arm, back down to the finger. So one more time, if you're using one arm, the left arm, it's the left finger as we inhale, drawing the energy up, the outside of the left arm, shoulder, scapula, neck, left side of the face, right nostril. Exhale back down, left side of the face, neck, shoulder, outside of the arm. Just continuing with that movement at your own pace. Maybe also feeling here the energetic movements through the neck as we move the energy through the neck and the side of the face. Ready to swap to the other side now, so in the case of Vanessa's option, she's just going to bring the right arm underneath and roll over onto that arm. For me, I'm just going to swap the arms over, so I'm going to bring the right arm closest into the body. Just walking the hands apart a little bit. And we're both going to find that physical edge, target area being the scapula, so the shoulder, upper body area. Consciously relaxing the muscle in that area. As we do, maybe finding the posture's got a little bit to open up. Maybe that edge moves out. So maybe we can roll over onto that arm a little bit more, or I can push up with the feet a little bit more. Just finding stillness. Stillness in the body and the mind. Stillness enabling us to take our clear attention down to the forefinger. So if we've just got the right arm underneath, it's just the right forefinger. If we're using both arms, it's both forefingers. And then as we inhale, drawing the energy up from the forefinger, up the outside of the arm, going up to the shoulder, scapula, clavicle, neck, side of the face, crossing over to the opposite nostril. As we exhale, coming back down, nostril, crossing to the other side of the face, down the neck, shoulder, outside of the arm, back to the forefinger. So one more time, guys, and if you're just using the right arm, it's the right forefinger as we inhale, drawing the energy up the outside of the right arm, shoulder, scapula, clavicle, neck, right side of the face, crossing over to the left nostril. And as we exhale, left nostril, right side of the face, neck, shoulder, outside of the right arm, down to the right finger. So in either expression now, just working with your own rhythm, maybe drawing the energy up on the inhale and releasing on the exhale. But whatever rhythm you're choosing, just being very mindful of the movement of the energy through that meridian band, the sensations you're feeling as it moves, the areas it moves through. Moving here through your shoulders, neck, side of the face. All areas that see some manifestation of the disharmony of these meridians. So neck problems, shoulder problems, mouth, teeth problems. Flushing this energy through is going to deal specifically with some of those issues over time, but also just re-energizing the body, reducing fatigue. One more time as we inhale, forefinger outside of the arm, coming up the outside of the arm, shoulders, neck, side of the face, crossing over to the opposite nostril. Exhale back down, side of the face, neck, shoulders, outside of the arm to the tip of the forefinger. And when you're ready, just gently coming out of that position, either lying on your front or coming onto the back for a rebound. With all of the yin postures, whether they're meridians or not, because of the amount of time we're in there, we want to be a little bit gentle with ourselves when we come out of a posture. So in our rebound now, just closing our eyes, opening the mind, taking the attention to the upper body, scapula, shoulder area, listening, observing and listening. What sensation is present? Is it moving? Is it static? How is it manifested energetically as a physical vibration? Is it using the meridian band that we've just been working with? Or is it finding some other path through the upper body and the arms? Maybe it's moving to other parts of the body. But using the increasing powers of perception that you have as you work through this practice to discern what's happening for you. Next inhale, just come into a seated position. So it would be useful for the next posture if you have a block or even a bolster. I prefer to use a bolster, but I think Vanessa prefers to use a block. Our target area for the next posture is again going to be upper body, so it's going to be the chest and shoulder, but also the thoracic spine. I'm going to place the block, as you can see Vanessa's got the block placed there right on the thoracic spine, so in the middle of the back, and I'm going to do the same with the bolster, and we're simply just going to lie back. Our target area meridian wise is the lung, so again the inside. Just going to find that edge, allow ourselves to relax. As we relax, we're going to find that the body is going to open up. Sometimes takes a little time here. Just find that edge, relax the muscles. Relaxing muscles may give us the opportunity to go a little bit deeper. Take the arms behind us in some form, so we're crossing the elbows, holding the elbows, or taking the arms straight up. The head can either come to the mat, or if you want to support the head, you could perhaps take a block behind you. And we're just going to find stillness. So once we've got our arms above our head, we're just going to find that stillness, that physical and mental stillness we've been developing through the practice. And again, we're going to use that stillness to move beyond just the physical sensations. So, we've got physical sensations here in the back. Got some nice extension of the spine. We've got some physical expressions in the upper body, the shoulders, probably even in the stomach. But we want to move beyond that and go to the energetics. So we take our attention to the thumbs of both hands. And as we inhale, we're going to draw the energy up the thumbs, up the inside of the arms, going up to the shoulder and into just below the clavicle on both arms. And as we exhale, moving that energy back down the inside of the arms to the thumbs. Inhale, drawing the energy up, the inside of the arms, shoulders, clavicle. Exhale, moving the energy back down. Again, just continuing with that movement at your own pace and your own rhythm. Consciously feeling the passage of the energy, the chi or the prana, through that meridian band. Consciously moving, feeling the benefits, flushing the chi through the meridians, the lung meridian, large intestine meridian, opened up nicely through the whole practice. But here, just moving that energy up from the thumbs, inside of the arms, shoulder, clavicle, and back down through the inside of the arms to the thumbs for the last time. Next inhale, just removing the bolster or the block. Coming to a fully reclined position, lying on your back for our Shavasana. So as always with the Shavasana, body fully relaxed, arms and legs comfortable distance from the body. No physical muscular tension there, just relaxing, open. Eyes, bringing the eyes to a close if we're comfortable. If we're not comfortable with the eyes closed, maybe just picking a point on the ceiling and defocusing. But wherever we are, starting as we did at the beginning of this practice, to bring our attention to the breath. Natural breath, no particular rhythm. Not trying to direct anything here, move any energy. We're just simply bringing that attention, our full attention, to the movement of the breath. In through the nostrils, into the body. As we exhale, leaving the body out through the nostrils. Conscious of the movement of air out the nostrils. Cooler air coming in. And warmer air leaving the body. Inhaling and exhaling. Just taking that attention, that focus away from the breath for a moment, taking it down to the meridians that we've been working with, and just scanning the lung meridian. So starting at the thumb, just starting to scan the thumb, scanning the inside of the arms all the way up, just past the armpit into the shoulder, just below the scalpel, scanning here, scan all the way back down, clavicle, shoulder, the inside of the arm, down, inside of the arm, wrist, to the thumbs. Just taking a mental picture of how that sensation feels. What can you sense there? Just a couple of breaths. But we gently move our attention to the large intestine meridian. So starting with the tip of the forefinger, the outside tip, the nail, and just scanning from the nail all the way up the forefinger, the outside of the arm, coming up to the shoulder, scapula, into the sides of the neck, side of the face, and then just crossing to the opposite nostril, scanning there, and scanning back, side of the face, crossing to the opposite side of the face, scan down the neck, shoulders, and the outside of the arms, to the very tip of the forefinger in both hands. Again, just sensation in that particular meridian band. Before gently returning the attention to your breath, just for a couple more rounds. Gently in your own time, maybe wriggling those fingers and toes, rolling over to one side and coming up to a comfortable seated position, just taking a moment, keeping the eyes closed perhaps, inclining the head towards the mat, blinking the eyes open. Just a couple of breaths here before we close the practice. Namaste. I do hope that you enjoyed that lung, large intestine meridian practice. You can begin to feel the benefits in the upper body. Namaste.